Good evening. I am Adetuke Olaleye. Reading with me is
Idowu Shekoni. Good evening.
bringing in Newscope, our daily news program of in-depth reports, interviews, and commentaries. First, the highlights. Federal government unveils 2025 Transparency and Integrity Index.
Oyo NIPR tells Nigerians to harness opportunities for financial independence, self-reliance.
Kwara considers internal security for some option to tackle escalating bandit siege.
On the foreign scene, Israeli airstrikes killed dozens in Gaza despite U.S.'s renewed calls for ceasefire.
Now the details. The Bureau of Public Service Reforms, BPSR, has launched the 2025 Transparency and Integrity Index, TII. This was announced today in Abuja in a statement by the PBSR Head of Strategic Communications, Mr. Aliyu Umar. The statement described the Transparency and Integrity Index as a vital tool for strengthening accountability, openness and ethical standards across ministries, departments and agencies. It added that the 5th edition of the index measures MDA's compliance with transparency standards in 5 critical areas of financial management, control of corruption, open procurement, citizens' engagement, and human resource inclusion. Mr. Omar explained that the TII aligns with the National Strategy for Public Service Reforms, NSPSR 2021 to 2025, reinforces the Freedom of Information Act and supports Nigeria's commitment under the Open Government Partnership.
Commissioners of Power and Energy across the 36 states of the Federation have dismissed claims that they are backpedaling from their commitment to a decentralized and reliable power supply nationwide. The state commissioners, under the aegis of the Forum of Commissioners for Power and Energy, said no state has retreated from the reforms. They said, rather, more states are passing laws, establishing commissions, and assuming regulatory powers every quarter. These assertions were contained in a statement jointly signed by the Forum Chairman, Prince Eka Williams, and Secretary, Muhammad Ihezue Abdul Muttalib. The statement further revealed that since the passage of the Electricity Act, 23 states have passed laws to establish their electricity markets, with more states joining, while 14 states now have formal NERC transfers of regulatory oversight. The statement was issued in response to speculations that subnational governments have reversed course on power sector reforms following the enactment of the Electricity Act.
Rising unemployment has made it imperative for students to acquire practical skills for self-reliance and financial independence. This was the key message of a personality lecture organized by the Department of Education Management, University of Ibadan. PCOS reporter Gbemisola Adebayo has the details.
In the meantime, the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, Oyo State chapter, is equipping members with practical tools to navigate the nation's current economic realities. The Institute in furtherance of this effort centered its monthly lecture on building economic independence with a charge to Nigerians to harness opportunities for self-sufficiency and financial independence. Our reporter Oluyole now brings details of the lecture delivered at the BCOS NUJ Hall, Iliakede, Orita Bashoro, Ibadan.
There's need for us to embrace technology, which is pivotal to unlocking economic strength. Let us exploit online platforms, either as an entrepreneur or a public servant or even retiree, for investment and for financial services. Government must, as a matter of urgency, review the earning of our pension workers to fall in line with economic reality.
Earlier in his welcome address, the acting chairman of the NIPR Oyo State chapter, Mr. Goke Adelakun, explained that the lecture, titled Roadmap to Building Independent Economic Strength, was inspired by the Institute's mission to empower members through knowledge sharing and capacity building. Mr. Adelakun also charged members to work collectively to reposition the NIPR for greater relevance at both state and national levels.
The motive is to enable member cope with the current economic reality and further allow them to think outside the box for more better opportunity to empower themselves and also make more money. One of the problems being faced by a typical society or individual in our today's world is the paucity of funds to either fill our obligation, our commitment to either the institute or at the larger society.
The lecture rounded off with an interactive session, giving members the chance to engage the guest lecturer on practical applications of his message, after which he was presented with an award of excellence. Adeola Oladele, BCOS News.
Military authorities today disclosed that troops in the month of September 2025 rescued 180 kidnapped persons, arrested 450 terrorists and bandits, and killed scores of terrorists, bandits, and other criminal elements. The military also said that 39 terrorists surrendered to soldiers, while 63 assaulted arms, 4,475 ammunition, and 294 explosives, including grenades and IEDs, were recovered. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kange, who made this known, said terrorist logistics and communications materials, including communication gadgets, motorcycles, and vehicles, were also recovered. General Kanye added that troops of Operation Delta Safe discovered and destroyed 41 illegal refinery sites in the Niger Delta, and he said that the soldiers also foiled over 112.17 million naira oil theft.
Former Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to late ex-President Muhammadu Buhari, Garba Shehu, has dismissed claims by former President Goodluck Jonathan that his principal was once nominated by Boko Haram to mediate in peace talks with the federal government. Garba Shehu, in a statement, described former President Jonathan's comment as a false start ahead of a possible 2027 presidential bid. Recall that former President Goodluck Jonathan made the controversial remarks at the public presentation of a book authored by former Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabo. Reacting to the comment, Mr. Garba Shehu accused former President Jonathan of attempting to distort facts for political gain. He emphasized that neither Muhammad Yusuf or Abubakar Shekau, and the two deceased leaders of the Boko Haram terrorist group, nominated the late Muhammadu Buhari for any such role. Mr. Garba Shehu recalled that Abubakar Shekau in fact routinely denounced and threatened former President Buhari, adding that the late former president in 2014 escaped a bomb attack by Boko Haram in Kaduna.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. Governor of Kwara State, Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, has said that he is currently considering a state security force to curtail the protracted crisis of insecurity ravaging the state. The governor, on his Facebook page, revealed that members of the planned security outfit to be recruited from the local communities would be trained and equipped to work with other allied security agencies. Governor Abdurrazak said he had initiated robust engagements with communities in Edu and Patagi local government areas to review the security situation and share ideas on how best to curtail the very disturbing incidents of kidnapping and violent attacks. The governor also said he had visited Oluyole in the Ifelodun local government area following the sad incident of Sunday, September 28, in which some forest guards, local hunters, and community leaders were murdered by rampaging bandits. He vowed that the deceased will not die in vain.
Meanwhile, Abia State Governor Alex Otti has assured that the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, will soon regain his freedom. The assurance was contained in the governor's message during President Bola Tinubu's one-day official visit to the state. Governor Otti, who was represented by the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, disclosed that he has been engaging the president on Nnamdi Kanu's release. He said the president is favorably disposed to the matter and the IPOB leader will regain his freedom in the not-too-distant future. Nnamdi Kanu has been in custody of the Department of State Services DSS since his extradition from Kenya in June 2021.
The Nigerian police force has reacted to a social media post by human rights lawyer Yiniye Efyong, who shared a copy of a federal high court order directing the police to maintain status quo in the ongoing case on the enforcement of tinted glass permits. Responding via his official ex-handle, Force Public Relations Officer Benjamin Undeyi stated that the police had not yet been officially served with the court order cited by Mr. Efyong. His response came after the lawyer posted excerpts of the court order which restrained the police from taking further action on the enforcement of tinted glass regulations pending the determination of the case. In the ruling, the Federal High Court sitting in Warri directed the police to maintain the status quo and respect ongoing judicial proceedings. Confirming the development, leading counsel in the matter, Kunle Edu SAN, described the order as a major step in upholding the rule of law and protecting the rights of citizens, while the substantive issues are yet to be decided.
Let's now go over to our sports studio for latest news updates from the exciting world of sports with Boluwaji Ogumola.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the sports segment on the news. My name is Boluwaji Ogumola. Nigeria National League side Doma United have appointed Najib Mabu as their new technical advisor. Chairman of the club, Alhaji Sulaiman Umar, confirmed Mabu's appointment during the team's training session. Mabu joined Doma United from fellow NNL club Mighty Jets. The young tactician replaces Akande Onigmide, who left the club at the end of last season. He will be assisted by coach Maurice Chigozie and coach Sulaiman Mohamed, both of whom have been integral members of the club's coaching crew. Doma United will be aiming to secure promotion to Nigerian Premier Football League in the new season. Benin Republic head coach Gannett Raw has named Remo Stars goalkeeper Serge Obasa in his 25-man squad for the Squirrels' 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and Nigeria. Raw, who once handled the Super Eagles, unveiled his squad at a press conference in Cotonou yesterday. Obasa has established himself as Remo Stars' first-choice goalkeeper since arriving the Nigerian Premier Football League champions at the start of last season. The Squirrels will be away to the Amavubi of Rwanda at the Amahoro Stadium, Kigali, next Friday. They will also be on the road 4 days later with a clash against the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo. Flying Eagles midfielder Daniel Dagger says the team is firmly focused on their next game against Colombia at the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Ali Zubair's side defeated Saudi Arabia 3-2 in their second match of the competition on Friday morning. Captain Daniel Bumeyi scored a stoppage time penalty to give Nigeria maximum points in the encounter. The Flying Eagles currently sits third in Group C with 3 points from 2 matches. The 7-time African champions will need to beat Colombia in their final group fixture to secure a place in the knockout round. Daga declared that they would give their all to overcome the South Americans. Finally, Super Falcons forward Ifeoma Anumono has announced her retirement from football, bringing an end to a professional career that spanned more than a decade across the United States, France and Nigeria. In a statement shared on Instagram in the early hours of Saturday, the 31-year-old expressed gratitude for her journey, describing her retirement as a natural conclusion to a lifelong discovery that began at the age of 8. Onumono said that passion for football guided her 22 years and culminated in unforgettable moments on both club and international stages. And our sports this evening.
And on the international scene, Gaza's Civil Defense Agency has reported that Israel conducted dozens of airstrikes and artillery shelling on Gaza City. The agency said this in spite of United States President Donald Trump's demand to halt bombardments following Hamas' partial acceptance of the ceasefire deal. Civil Defense spokesperson Mahmoud Basal told international correspondents that it was a very violent night, during which the Israeli military carried out dozens of airstrikes and artillery shelling on Gaza. Mr. Basal, who works for a rescue force, said 20 homes were destroyed in the overnight attacks, while Gaza City Al-Halil Hospital reported casualties from a strike on a home in the city's Tofa neighborhood. The proposal for Gaza, unveiled by President Donald Trump this week with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's support, outlines a ceasefire, the release of captives within 72 hours, disarmament of Hamas, and a phased Israeli withdrawal from Gaza.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the top stories. The nation's Bureau of Public Service Reforms, BPSR, has launched the 2025 Transparency and Integrity Index, TII. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Oyo State Chapter, is equipping members with practical tools to navigate the nation's current economic realities. The Institute, in furtherance of its efforts, centered its monthly lecture on building economic independence with a charge to Nigerians to enhance opportunities for self-sufficiency and financial independence. Governor of Kwara State, Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, has said he is currently considering the state's security force to curtail the protracted crisis of insecurity ravaging the state. And on the international scene, Gaza's Civil Defense Agency has reported that Israeli conducted dozens of airstrikes and artillery shelling in Gaza City. The agency said this is in spite of United States President Donald Trump's demand on halt bombardments following Hamas' partial acceptance of a ceasefire deal. That's all from the Newscope desk for now. It was packaged by Tola Seriba and delivered by Aditoke Olaleye and Idowu Shekuni. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 p.m. Good evening.
To listen to the hottest sound. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 98.5 FM. You're listening to the Urban Frequency.
Irrespective of any godfather has brought me this further. Thank you, Lord. Olúwa ẹ ṣé ọba gidi mo dúpẹ́ o bàbá. Olúwa ẹ ṣé o mẹ́ta lọ́kan ẹ máa ṣe o. Olúwa ẹ ṣé ọba gidi mo dúpẹ́ o bàbá. Olúwa ẹ ṣé o mẹ́ta lọ́kan ẹ máa ṣe o. Fún mi nínú ìdánwò àtẹ̀wò ọ̀rẹ́ àtẹ̀bí kan bí sílẹ̀. Nígbà tí èṣù dé ṣe bẹ́yìn ló tì mí lẹ́yìn. Nígbà tọ́ta gbógun ẹ̀yìn lẹ pa wọn lẹ́nu mọ́. Nígbà tọrẹ sá tí wọ́n já mi sílẹ̀ tí kò sólùrànlọ́wọ́ gangan. Ó máa jẹ́ mu yín o bàbá ló sọ mí dẹni retí o. Olúwa mo dúpẹ́ fún ọ̀fẹ́ yìí tó gbà mí là o. Olúwa ẹ ṣeun fún àánú tẹ́ fi wá mi rí. Olúwa ẹ ṣé ọba gidi mo dúpẹ́ o bàbá. Olúwa ẹ ṣeun mẹ́ta lọ́kan ẹ máa ṣeun. Olúwa ẹ ṣé ọba gidi mo dúpẹ́ o bàbá. Olúwa ẹ ṣeun mẹ́ta lọ́kan ẹ máa ṣeun. When problems had me bound, your grace and love deliver me. When the devil held me captive, your loving kindness set me free. When alone in wilderness of life, when darkness was all around me, you sent your word, you gave me hope, your faithfulness was there for me. I was soaked in pains and tears, my life was full of agony. Oh Lord, in your mercy, you came and your love made me whole. If not for your grace, oh what will have been my story now? If not for your goodness, I don't know where I would have been. Olúwa ẹ ṣé ọba gidi mo dúpẹ́ o bàbá. Olúwa ẹ ṣé o mẹ́ta lọ́kan ẹ máa ṣe o. Olúwa ẹ ṣé ọba gidi mo dúpẹ́ o bàbá. Olúwa ẹ ṣé o mẹ́ta lọ́kan ẹ máa ṣe o. Oore ọ̀fẹ́ yín ló dá mi sí lóní o bàbá. Àánú yín o bàbá ló pa mí mọ́ lónìí. Ọ̀tá ìbáyọ̀ mi wọ́n bá ti fi mi ṣẹlẹ̀ yà é. Ayé bá rìn mí wọ́n bá ti fi mi ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ o. Ṣé bèmí lẹ́ni táyé tí rò pé kò lè dá kan rere ṣe mọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n bàbá nínú àánú ẹ̀ wá sọ mí dẹni bùkún. Kí ni màá fi dúpẹ́, kí ni màá fi san orí àánú lórí mi. Ìyìn àtọpẹ́ o bàbá kò ní tán lẹ́nu mi láyé. Olúwa ẹ ṣé ọba gidi mo dúpẹ́ o bàbá. Olúwa ẹ ṣé o mẹ́ta lọ́kan ẹ máa ṣe o.